guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Nancy from nancybadillo.com, and welcome to another episode of Etsy Shop Critique. If this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel and you're interested as an Etsy seller in growing your Etsy business and getting tips and tricks on how to grow it, how to do SEO correctly, how to do your social media correctly, how to grow your presence online, and how to have a thriving business, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do have a lot of Etsy tutorials, and I'll be adding more every month. So therefore, you stay tuned with all the uploaded videos that I will have. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm doing a Etsy critique on the store called ABC Decor and More. So thank you, Sally, for allowing me to do a review on your shop. So the first thing I do is I pick a listing to do an audit. So I'm doing an audit on this actual listing here. And the first thing I talk about in all my critiques, if you've watched the ones before, is product photography. Keep in mind that your photo has to be compelling. It has to look amazing. It's critical to the success of your shop. And a bad photo could prevent you from making the sale. And it doesn't matter how amazing your product is or how cheap it is, or if you offer free shipping, that does not matter. If your photo is not the best photo you could take of your product, you will not make the sale. I know that sometimes I say that over and over and over, and I say it in my Facebook group, I say it on these videos, but it's something that you need to really, really think about. When you take a picture of the product, you have to make sure that you are very critical of it, and you tell yourself, can this photo look better? Am I taking the best possible photo? If not, then you need to reconsider maybe hiring somebody to do your product photography if you're not the best person to do it, or if they use additional tools like Photoshop or any type of Photoshop tools that they can use to kind of edit the picture, make it clearer, make it nicer looking. But you definitely have to either one, learn how to do it yourself, or two, hire someone else to do it for you. Now, keep in mind is the most important factor before the potential buyer looks at the pricing, before they look at shipping, before they look at your reviews, before they click on your store. The photo is the first thing they see. It's the first impression. In my opinion, your photos need improvement. I like the concept that, you have the main photo and you have like a close-up, even though it gets cut off here because you have different sizes. Make sure that every photo is the same size. It looks more professional. It looks cleaner. It looks nicer. I like that you're trying to, zoom in, show like different angles of the product. You did it sideways. You did it from the other side as well. So you are putting the effort. The issue is that the photo is not the best looking. So you definitely have to work on your photos. It looks a little yellowish in the background. There's shadows in the background. A lot of the photos are different sizes. It is getting cut off here, so it doesn't look professional. So you have a beautiful product. The issue is that you're not showcasing it the best way you can. Now, I don't know if it's the camera, if you took it with a phone, maybe you need to invest in a camera, a nice camera, but the photo does need work. It's a little bit too dark, in my opinion. It's a little yellowish. I don't like the trimming up here to see that, like the lines right there. But yeah, the photo needs some work. That might be one of the reasons you asked that you want to increase your views and you want more traffic. That might be one of the reasons why you're not getting it, is the photo. You gotta think about it this way. You're competing with so many stores that sell reefs. There's so many of them. This is like a competitive niche. So therefore, what makes you better than every other store out there? What makes you better? That's what you gotta think about. Why they should buy from you. And it starts with the photo, because unlike you going to an actual store that you can actually grab the product, feel it, touch it, wear it, whatever it is that you're looking at, When you shop online, all you have is the photo. That's all you have. That's all the customer has, the photo. So the photo doesn't do any justice to it. It's not compelling. It doesn't look that great. Guess what? They're not going to buy. It's that simple. So what I would do is do like you did, take the different angles. That's perfect. Like what you did was perfect in the sense of you did the main shot, then you try to do the angles, you try to do it sideways, you try to showcase the product in different ways. That's great. You have it in the door hanging, so you're actually showing how it would look. That's awesome. However, the pictures are not clear, they're not sized correctly, and then the coloring of the door, I think, it doesn't look that great with it. It's too dark. Also, there's like shadows right here on the side. So definitely take the pictures again. Try to do it on a day that's clear. Try to have no flash. Um, if you're not able to take the pictures better, maybe try a different door. Try maybe put it in the back door if this is the front door, just to see if that does anything different. If the back door has a white door versus off yellow, try to do that instead. If for whatever reason you can't improve the photo, maybe have someone come and take the photos for you. But definitely change the photos. That's the first thing I would say to do. The second thing we want to talk about is SEO, search engine optimization. So as you might know already, search engine optimization is how you get found in the search engine. It's whenever somebody types in summer wreath and your listing pops up. Now, you have to use relevant keywords that describes your item. That way you get found on Etsy. You also have to make sure that your keywords are not too broad, because then if you do keywords that are too broad, let's say you put decor. Decor could be pretty much anything. It could be, you know, I don't know, it could be a table linen, it could be a chair, it could be a lamp, it could be flowers, it could be a painting, it could be anything. So therefore, when you use a word that's too broad, you're not targeting your target audience. Now you're just targeting anybody and everybody. So therefore, you might get a lot of views or a lot of clicks, but you're not making the sale because you're not targeting the people that are actually looking for your particular item. Now, I did notice that you had summer wreath, and then you also had like nautical wreath and beach wreath. I think this is more of a beach wreath only because of the elements on it, like the seashells and the fish. I'm not sure if it's a summer wreath. I mean, I could be wrong. You're the expert in this niche. I would just stick with more of the nautica wreath and beach wreath because that's more specific to what you're selling. However, you are the expert, so if you feel like it is a summer wreath, keep that. If that keyword is not too broad, because it might be too broad, or even if it's not too broad, if it's oversaturated, which means that there's a lot of other people using it, that also could kind of affect in the sense of you're not getting found organically. And then if you were to run an ad, your cost per click is going to be a lot higher because there's a lot of other people bidding for that same keyword. So therefore, your cost is a lot higher. So let's look at the keywords. So these are the keywords for that particular listing. So you've done a decent job. I feel like you have some keywords that are in low competition. So these are actually pretty good. And I feel like they describe your product pretty good. Now, this one here, I will remove that one. Not only because it's too many people using that one, also because I feel like it could be any type of, when you say welcome wreath, that could be anything. So therefore now you're targeting anybody and everybody. And I feel like yours is more nautica, so I will always keep it like welcome wreath, nautica welcome wreath, or beach welcome wreath. Like kind of keep that trend with the nautica or beach in the welcome wreath. But just don't put the word welcome wreath only, because now you're opening it up to a larger audience. And that doesn't always necessarily mean you're going to make more money because more people see it. It means that you're going to waste more money if you're running ads. Also means that, like I said earlier, you run the chance of using a keyword that's oversaturated. So therefore you're like, you're stuffed in the 6th page of Etsy search results. No one's seen the listing and you're not getting traffic. And if you were to look up this keyword, like if you took this and you went to Etsy.com, you're gonna see how many other people are using it. It's crazy. So this is a good way to kind of check for keyword if you didn't want to use Etsy Rank, which is the tool that I'm using. And guys, any tools that I use on this video, I will leave them on the box below so you guys could use them as well. But welcome wreath, there's 19 other people using that keyword. So therefore, organically, you're not going to get found because your wreath might be somewhere. So somewhere on page 8 or 9 or 10, somewhere in the back end somewhere. On top of that, if you were to run an ad, your cost is going to be really high also because there's so many people using that same keyword. So your cost per click, anytime somebody clicks the ad, you're not going to pay 10 cents per click. You might pay $3 or $2, depending on the keyword. You're going to pay a higher cost because you're competing with a lot of people are competing and they all want to be on the first spot of Etsy, which is the first page. So therefore, you are going to compete with a lot of people. Now, it's tricky because if you decide I'm going to set an amount for my cost per bid, and you set it too low, but then your keyword is very competitive, your ad will not appear on the first page of Etsy. They're going to push your ad to like the third or fourth only because you lower the cost per click. Now, if you leave it automatic, which means that Etsy will pick the price for you of how much they want to charge you based on the history of your shop, based on the history of the listing, based on how long you had it, stuff like that, different factors, then you might appear in the first or second page of Etsy search results. But just keep in mind that your cost per click is going to be a lot higher. So that's the pros and cons of it. So you definitely want to use keywords that you could rank organically for. That way you could appear on the first page of Google of Etsy without having to pay any advertising. And if you ever did advertising, you will always have like the number one spot on Etsy on the first page for the most part, and therefore you have more chances of getting the sale. So definitely we'll work on changing these keywords. All you have to do is pretty much when you're using Etsy Rank, come up here and type in, like you could say, Nautica, welcome wreath, and then put get keyword idea. It's going to spit out the ones that they think that they're going to spit out a different types of keywords. It's your job to kind of go through them. You're going to get a lot of them that are high in competition because Nautica stuff does tend to be competitive because it's very nice. So you're going to have to come through here, kind of look through them. This one wouldn't be one because you don't have an anchor unless you have a different listing that does have an anchor. That would be a good keyword. But you kind of go through them. If you do medium competition, try to stick with anything under 6,000 listings. I feel like for my personal Etsy shops, if I stick under 6,000, I do better. But if I get a keyword that has over 6,000 listings and is medium competition, it's really hard for me to rank for those keywords. And I always end up paying more in advertising. So that's why I'm saying, like, try to stick with under 6,000. Now, if you go to a second page, that's a good keyword there for yours. That's another good one there. That's a good one here for you. So we are finding lake house wreath. That's a good one because it's kind of like lake house, like your wreath. Ocean wreath, seashore wreath. I don't think this one will be a good one because this is tropical and your theme is not tropical. Nautica welcome, that would be better than the one that you currently have, which is welcome wreath. Sailboat, I don't think that one is particular and it's too low in listings, so I wouldn't pick that one. I would try to do like at least 700 and up in listings. So yeah, you just have to go through these and kind of like write them down on a piece of paper and replace any that you find with the ones that had the red tags and any that were too broad also. But this is basically what you do. It is a little tedious because you have to sit there and kind of go through it, but you have to do the groundwork. You want to have a successful shop. You want to make this your full-time job unless it already is. But if you want to make it a full-time job, you want to grow your shop, you want to make tons of money with it, you want to be successful at it, guess what? You're going to have to pay somebody to do your photos if you can't do it. You're gonna have to do the groundwork of SEO. You're gonna have to sit there and do this and analyze the keywords and see what's working, see what's not working. But you have to do this every month. You have to treat it as a real business. But once you get all those keywords replaced, you will remove these and you will change them with new keywords. Now keep in mind, your keywords should have a comma. Every time you put a keyword, this is one, summer wreath, comma, front door Nautica, comma, wreath welcome, comma, whatever is a keyword, separate them with a comma. Also, your first 160 character, which is like right here, this little section, is also called a meta description. And this is what Google shows people if you get found in the search engine, whether it's Bing, Yahoo, or Google. And so this should be very enticing. I think that you have a decent meta description. I was reading this earlier, so I don't think it's that bad. But just make sure, let's say this is your main keyword, right? Summer wreath. That main keyword has to be here as well. Welcome or get this summer wreath. Like it has to be in here. So you have it right here. So that's good. So that's what you have to do. That way, that's an SEO best practice, and it's a factor that they want in order for Google or any search engine understand what your page is about. And this is what Google sees. So if I was to type in on Google summer wreath and you rank for that, this is what I see as a potential buyer, and then that's what I would click to go to your store. And that's why the first 160 characters should be enticing. It should have a call to action. So it should say like click here to view our beautiful wreaths, or click here to shop now, or click here to learn more. It has to have some type of call to action telling the customer what to do so they could click and go to your shop and potentially buy from you. So once you do that, so now you got all the keywords here. You have the main keyword here. You're going to sprinkle the keyword in your listing descriptions. All the other keywords, you're going to put them throughout the listing description. Make sure it makes sense. Don't just put them anywhere just to put them in there. Make sure it flows, it makes sense, it's easy to read. But you have to include them because that's how Google knows what your page is about. And then you go on the bottom, you select, you make sure that you have the right category, and then you put all your keywords like you did here. So you did a good job in this part. You just have to change a couple of keywords. Your SEO wasn't that bad, to be honest with you. You just have to tweak a couple of the words, but I think mainly it's your photos. Your photos need a lot of work. So I think that might be hindering you because your actual SEO is not too bad in that listing, at least for that listing. Now, once you do that, let's say you already did, you did the photo, you did the SEO. Keep in mind, the SEO is how the person found you, right? That's how they found your listing. The picture is what makes the impression of them saying, wow, I love this, let me click. Or, wow, I wasn't looking for this, but I found it, I want it. You see what I mean? Like you want that. You want that person to think that. And then the listing description, which is what describes the listing, right? Like what they're buying, is what closes out the sale. The reason why it closes out the sale is because you're going to be very precise at what you're selling. You're going to be detailed as possible. And this is how people build credibility with you. This is how they build trustworthiness as a shop owner. And this is what closes the sale for you. So you have to include everything important about your listing. The size of it, the shape, the color, the shipping policy, return policy, how to contact you, and anything and everything that they need to know about the listing. Now, you did write, the size and how to, take care of it. I would definitely work on the listing description. It needs more information. It needs to be very, very detailed. You need to provide a lot of information on it. So I would definitely work on it. Writing I call it a killer description. Make sure that it's very, very in depth about what you're selling. It's important that you are very clear on the process of it, the shipping policy, cancellation if you have any, return if you have any. It's so important to include those things, not only to protect you as a buyer, as a seller, but also if the customer later on says, well, they never told me this, or this was never explained to me, that it's in the actual listing description And if that person decides to take action against your shop, as long as you have it listed there, Etsy will take your side. So it's very crucial that you have everything that they need to know about the listing description in there. Now, once you have the listing description filled out and you do it again, the fourth thing that we want to talk about is the curation of your shop. And that is everything, like how it looks, the cohesiveness of it, your photos. Does it match? Do all the photos go together? Does it look like it's coming from the same shop? So looking at your overall, I think you've done a decent job. I would do the banner again. As you can see, like this picture's white here, and then this door is kind of yellowish. It doesn't look bad. Can it look better? Yes, that's the thing. It's not that your store looks bad. It's just that it could look much better. So what I would do would be is one, buy a logo. Take this picture off. Well, leave it there, but once you buy the logo, take this off. Buy a logo. Spend money and make a really nice logo and put it there. Create brand. That's branding. You have to brand yourself. So create a logo, put it there. I like the fact that you have a picture of yourself. I personally would do a picture of your face a little closer so people could relate and see who they're buying from. So I will redo the picture just a little bit closer of you. The banner, I would create a banner. If you look at the most prominent shops on Etsy, their banners are amazing. They have a nice banner. They have the hours of operation. They have their social media links. They have their website link. They have the hours of, I said that already. The hours of operation. They have their email, how to contact them, and blah, blah, blah. Do something like that. It really does stand out. It makes you look more professional. It makes you look like you really care about your shop. It makes you set your store apart from the other million shops. That's the key. Is why should they buy from you? What makes you more special? Don't overlook small details and fill out everything and anything you can. You've done a good job because you do have updates, and I like that. And like this picture here is blurry. You see how it's kind of blurry? I will redo that again. But I like the fact that you're showcasing like your space, your workspace. What I would do is whenever you take a picture of your workspace, I would try, I know it could be hard, try to decorate it a little nicer, maybe tie it up a little bit, get rid of this here, like tie it up a little bit more. So when you take a picture, it looks nicer. I think the quality of the photos are important. This photo is blurry. This one I think is the best one out of all of them. But great job for doing this at least. A lot of people don't even do that. I love the fact that you have a story about who you are, about your family, about sharing every day. I love this. And I think that's so important because a lot of people are emotional buyers. And when they read stuff like this and they say, okay, she's stepping out in faith and she started her store, I think that it just shows a lot about the person. And it might be subconsciously, they might say, I'll just buy from her because I love her story, or I want to contribute somehow, or I want to make a difference, or I want to help. That's beautiful. So I think that out of everything you have done, my favorite part of your shop is your about me. I think you did an exceptional job with it. I think that it just, if it doesn't touch people, I mean, I don't know if they're human, but it is beautiful. So I do want to say that you've done a really extremely really good job with it. Um, you added your Facebook link, so that's good. If you have any additional links, I don't think you do because you only send me the Facebook one, but if you were, make sure that you add them there in the future. Um, I saw your reviews earlier. I don't have to say anything about the reviews because people love your products. So I think your products are amazing. You just need those little tweaks to make it look better, to make your store look nicer and kind of like, stand out from so many other people out there that are selling on Etsy. So your reviews are good. I don't need to talk about that. I like the fact that you have like a little tagline. I would just put a little period at the end right here since we're using a comma. I like that you have the location. That's great because people want to know where you're from. You have a little about announcement here. I mean, everything else looks good. I think the only thing is setting your store apart. So dressing up your storefront, creating a great banner, creating a logo, paying for a logo, doing a picture here of your face only, updating your photos here, and making sure that once you fix the pictures, like this one is actually a really pretty picture here, but anyways, once you fix your pictures, especially the ones that are cut off, like this one here is cut off so people wouldn't know what they're buying. Once you fix your pictures and you make them look even way better, what you want to do is that you want to have consistency with your photos. You want to make sure that they all have like the similar backgrounds, similar colors. That way, if I found this on Etsy and I found this on Etsy, I know that these two photos come from the same shop. You don't ever want the person to not know that. And that's creating a cohesive brand that everybody knows, oh, that's from ABC Decor. So that's how people get to know you, because you use the same colors, you stick with the same colors all the time, and it just makes you look more nicer. Your store looks better. Now, lastly, what I highly, highly recommend that a lot of people don't do this is paying attention to your key performance indicators. So when you change your SEO and you change your pictures and you do all this extra work, you have to review your metrics every month. Some people don't do it every month. You could do quarterly if you want. I do mine's every month. The reason why is because the more you know about your shop, the better chance of understanding of what you sell, what you don't sell, what's working, what's not working. Then you start learning who your target audience is, who's the potential person that buys from you. If you don't know these things, you cannot grow your Etsy shop to the size that you want it to grow. You're not going to make the money that you want to grow. And then another nice thing is that once you know what's working for you, you could take your top items and do a robust line, which means like create additional items that go with that item, and you'll start selling like crazy because now you're doing additional items that go with it. A lot of people like stuff like that. I know I have that in my wedding shops, that I do the top contenders that I sell a lot, and then I create a whole line of products that go with that, and I always get more sales because of it. It's something similar that you would do with your shop that you could definitely do. Um, Pay attention to what's working, focus your energy on that versus the things that are not working. If it's not working, it's not making you money, you had it there for a year, take it out. Or unless you do the pictures again and you do the SEO again and it's still not working and you have the great keywords and you're targeting the right person, it might just be your product. However, concentrate on the things that are working. Sometimes we spend countless hours trying to fix something that we could have just made more of something else and made more money. But it's really, really important that you take the time to understand your shop. Make sure you sign up for Google Analytics. I have a video on how to connect your shop to Google Analytics. It's so important to know the trends on your shop, to know when you're the busiest, to know when is your peak months, when is you made the most money. I mean, where your traffic is coming from, how they found you, what it was, a referral, was it direct traffic. You have to learn all these things to run a successful shop. That's how you checking the metrics is how you know how you're performing. Another thing is making sure that you are also signed up as a Etsy seller, signed up for some type of software tool. I use QuickBooks. I'll leave the link below. But it's important that you are paying taxes no matter how small you make. A lot of people say, well, I'll start paying taxes when I make a lot of money. Do not do that. As an owner, as soon as you start making money, you are responsible for paying taxes. And the last thing you want to do is start a business to make money, to get yourself financial free. You're not going to get yourself financial free if you have the mentality of, I'm not going to pay taxes, or I don't make enough to pay taxes. Yes, you do. Make sure you do that. And the nice thing about also paying taxes that a lot of people don't know is that once you start paying taxes, you could claim more stuff. So you could, any softwares you're using or any, advertising you're using to advertise your store, whether it's through Etsy or Facebook ads or PPC ads, you could go ahead and claim that in your taxes and owe less money at the end of the year or quarterly, because you pay quarterly. So it's important that you sign up for some type of automated tool. I use QuickBooks. I'll leave the link below. Also talk to your local CPA to know more about taxes in your area and what you have to pay and what you're responsible for. It's very, very important that you start understanding the magnitude of paying taxes if you're not doing it. If you are, disregard it. If you're not, make sure you do. But these are my critiques. So fixing your SEO, fixing your photos, writing better listing descriptions, dressing up your storefront, making sure all the colors, the backgrounds, everything is the same color, creating a logo, and then on top of that, making sure that you are abiding by as a business owner, taking it serious as a business owner. Now let's look at your Facebook page. Okay, so Facebook, my opinion is a waste of time for Etsy sellers, or majority of business out there. Facebook works better when you spend money or you boost or if you go viral or if you have a large following. Now, do you want to keep your Facebook? Yes. The reason why is because when people search for businesses, they always go to Facebook first for some reason. So you want to keep it as a business. However, you do want to be consistent with it as well. You have a post here from March 28 that you pinned. After that, you did pin 3 hours ago. Let's see, before that was 5 hours. Before that was a couple days, September 5th, no, only 2 days. So September 12th. And that's it. Wait, let's see. 11, 10, 9. Okay, so this is the thing. When you have a business, do not mix your business with personal stuff that you like. Because this is your company and you are it's kind of like you're the owner. You could put like a picture of yourself once in a while saying, hey guys, I'm Sally. Just to let you guys know who I am. Because as you start growing your social media accounts, you start getting new followers. So it's always nice to do like once a month, like an introduction of who you are, what you sell, how you got started. That's good. You shouldn't have videos of cooking. I know this was a nice video about a man and elderly gesture and so on. You shouldn't have stuff like this. Keep that in your personal page, and your Facebook business page should be just business. You could have personal stuff about you, like if you have a birthday party or if you have something significant that happened, that's fine once in a while. But keep it more professional. Another thing is your banner. Whatever banner you use on Etsy should be the same banner you use on your social media. So if you have a Twitter account, Facebook account, let's say even LinkedIn, all of them should have the same banner. All of them should have the same profile logo. The reason why is because if somebody sees you on Etsy and they found you on Facebook, they know that that's the same company. If you have different pictures like this one here and that one there, people get confused. And they might not even follow you because they think you're someone else with a similar name, like the store that they think that you are. So it's important that you have that means being cohesive. All your social media should have the same logo, the same timeline photo, everything should be the same. If it's different, it's going to confuse people. But with Facebook, post every day if you can. Post about your business. However, also when you post, put a call to action. Like right here, you don't have a link to click on. So if somebody wanted to buy this, they're not going to know that the actual link is here. People don't read, people don't see, people don't understand Facebook. So make sure that every picture you put a compelling caption, and then you put a call to action. You put click here to shop, and then you put your Etsy link. Use this thing is called Bitly. If you go here, it's free, bitly.com. And what you could do is you could take the link that you're using. Let's say you wanted to showcase your shop. You see how long the shop name is? So you go here and you could shorten the URL. So you could go to create, you put the bit.ly there. So instead of putting this long Facebook link, you will put this one here, the short one. You copy that, and that's what you will use instead of putting this link here, you will use the shorter one, and you put it right here. So you will put whatever caption you put, and then put click here to shop, and then put the bit.ly, copy and pasting. It looks nicer, it looks short, the permalink looks shorter, it doesn't look ugly, and it doesn't look spammy. People don't like to be spam. Also, I highly recommend signing up for Pinterest. I absolutely love Pinterest for Etsy. I did a video on how I grew I have another Pinterest account that I grew to 300, I think right now it's like 340,000 monthly views. And I'm driving this month, I'm up to 1,800 clicks. Last month, I drove 1,900 clicks from Pinterest to Etsy. So I have a video on it. I use a software called Tailwind. I have the link below. And then I also have a video on YouTube on how to grow your Pinterest and send traffic from your Pinterest to your Etsy shop. I highly recommend Pinterest. Pinterest and Pinterest and Instagram are great for Etsy. Facebook, you need it because just for the business aspect of it. But to be honest with you, my top two are Instagram and then also Pinterest. And with Instagram, it's the same thing. Once you have the photos, make sure it's cohesive, make sure it's the same colors, make sure that you have a branding going on, make sure that you do once in a while show a picture of who you are. I have a picture of my baby, me, a story about me, how I got started. That's important to have that so people could get to know you. But these are my critiques. I hope that this video was helpful. Thank you, Sally, for letting me do a review. Keep in mind, you have a beautiful shop, so don't overthink it. You have beautiful products. I wish I was as talented as you are. All you have to do is do it. Like, make the pictures better and do everything else I mentioned, and you will see a vast improvement. Okay? So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a comment below of anything that you suggest for Sally to fix that maybe I didn't mention. I'm trying to create a sense of community. We all come together and help each other. It's enough room for everybody to be successful. So if you have any tips for her, leave a comment below, please. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day.